So, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Marton Csernai. I am from BotLabs, and I'm going to talk about Kilt. The internet currently does not have a good solution to describe identities on the protocol level in a trusted way. So, I can simply illustrate this with the picture that you all know from you can be a dog on the internet if you want to, or a dog can be anyone on the internet. The current identity is currently handled on the application layer, but this environment leads to gigantic data silos that are in the hands of corporations, and you can substitute your favorite social platform that has all your data, and you can ask that platform to share your data to somebody else. This is quite extraordinary because this problem was already solved by hundreds of years ago in a way that you can create claims about yourself and get these claims attested by trusted entities called attesters, and these attesters issue a credential for you. You store these credentials in your wallet, and then you can choose when you want to access a service. This service provider will ask you to show a credential. You want to go to a bar, and you have to prove that you're over 18 or over 21, depending where you are. And you can choose which credentials you show, and you show the credential, and you will be let into the bar. Okay, cool, but we can do this on the internet as well. Why do we need a blockchain? So we need a blockchain as soon as we want to have revocable credentials. So in this scenario, we have the same concept that the attester issues a credential, but also the attester writes the hash of the credential on the blockchain, which is like a distributed central place. And whenever the attester needs to revoke that credential, because maybe you drove drunk or something, and he wants to keep his reputation that he manages his attestations, then he can just simply revoke that credential on the blockchain. And when you go to a verifier, the verifiers can check if this hash is still on the blockchain or it's flagged as revoked. So this is the basic process that we implement in Kilt. And also we have a more complex concept called hierarchical trust or hierarchy of trust, where you can build up a complex trust structure and delegate rights to various entities through in this system. And we also write these delegations on the blockchain, and when claimers go to verifiers, the verifiers can check how you attained the credential, what's the hierarchy behind the credential, and they will trust an employee that issued your credential at the university, of a university degree, because they have trust upstream from the employee. They trust the university, which is at the root of the structure. This is like we translate the everyday trust relationships into our system. Also, in Kilt, one of our core proposal or selling point is we would like to incentivize the standardization of claim types, because you need to, when you make a claim, you want to be sure that the other end will understand that claim. And how can we create a system or an environment where the claim types converge to one or a couple of usable ones. And this is under discussion and research how we would want to do this, but we are thinking about ways how to incentivize the standardization of claim types through the block rewards that we using the blockchain. So this was basically Kilt. Not all of it, there's many other aspects, but the core processes. And so why we use Substrate for our blockchain. So we were thinking about using Ethereum smart contracts at first, but we quickly realized that we have much more flexibility and independence if we create our own blockchain. Just think about transaction cost, gas cost, or the whole consensus mechanism. And so when we started developing, that was the time when Substrate came out with the first version. So we just choose to go with Substrate, and we are pretty happy with that decision so far. So we really like that it's a generic framework, and love the speed and the safety provided by Rust, and really considered or really like this aspect of the WebAssembly runtime, that we don't have to deal with the forks. Also we appreciate the community around Substrate and the possibility of the Polkadot integration. So just real quick how we built up. So we already have a demo system, and how this demo system is built up, I'm going to show you in a couple of slides. So we have the Substrate-based blockchain, and we have a Kilt SDK. And this SDK is used in client applications and services. And these applications and services talk to or communicate with the blockchain through this SDK. And so the blockchain, we use the simple Substrate node template. And so we use our own runtime modules for writing the attestations on chains, writing the delegation structures on chains. Also, we use what's called the decentralized identifier. And this is a new proposal for identity identifiers on the internet. And we also write these, or the resolution part for these on the blockchain. And so we have the Kilt SDK, which is in TypeScript and JavaScript. And this communicates with the Substrate nodes through the WebSocket API. And we also have client applications and decentralized services in this ecosystem. And so this is the demo application or testnet that we already have. Everything is running in AWS, and we have simple demo centralized services. So it's like running on the AWS Cloud messaging service, contact service, and C-type registry. C-type is this claim types that are also registered on the blockchain, so that you can make sure that you have the right type of claim. And we use the simple Aura consensus module right now. So this is under discussion, how we will do the consensus if we become maybe a parachain of Polkadot. It's under discussion. And I also want to mention that we have a demo. I don't know, maybe some of you have seen that in the last Parity meetup. So we created a demo application that developers can look at and take it apart and create their own things or application services, what they want to do, so they can use it as a general building block or an application they can start from. So this is just a quick roadmap. So we are publishing the white paper in moments or in hours, maybe today. We'll see, but also we will have a launch event in May 14th, where we launch our first the first version of our testnet. This will be, so it's not transaction safe yet, so you can play around in it, you can have play money in it, but we don't make sure that the transactions get migrated to the next phase. But in 2019 Q3, Q4, we plan to release a so-called persistent testnet, where we plan to keep the transactions, so we plan to migrate the transactions done on the testnet to the mainnet, but you will still be able to use play money. And on the full release of the network, which is 2021, I don't know, nobody knows, you will have the full feature of the system, but you will still have the transactions from the previous version. So thank you for your attention and time. And if you would like to, if you have like any questions or